Hey everybody, welcome to this video. I'm going to show you how to change a battery in an ATV four-wheeler. It's very simple, very straightforward, but this thing has been breaking down slowly and slowly over time because it needs a new battery. I've been able to charge it a few times and get it going, but it's been shorter and shorter lifespan every time I charge it. A battery replacement is really cheap. I think this was $22. So we're going to go ahead and put it in today. So right now I'm at the back of the four-wheeler, and this is the seat, and right underneath here there's a little clip. All you gotta do is pop that little clip and the seat lifts out. Just set that aside. So this tiny little thing right here is the battery. It's baby. It's such a little tiny baby battery. It's very simple. Phillips head screwdriver. All you gotta do, pop off these terminals. Ooh, they were very loose, actually. Set those aside. Make sure you don't lose those screws. And lift the battery out. Let's go ahead and pop this open. Make sure that what they sent us is the right battery. The box is a little bit bigger. Oh, good. They come with new bolts and new mounting hardware. Ooh, it looks very, very similar. All right. It looks exactly the same. All the dimensions look totally perfect. It lines up in every way. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and bust this open and unwrap it. One thing I'm gonna do while I'm in here is just clean out all this gunk, because there's like pine needles and a bunch of debris. So that doesn't need to be in there. Since this came with new screws and nuts, I'm going to go ahead and use the new stuff. You might as well use the new hardware. So the way these batteries work, there's just a little hole right here, and the nut is a square nut that doesn't require a wrench. All you need to do is just slide it into that space. Just take this side, this is the positive side, slide that into that space as well. You just want to have it lined up so that when you put your screws in here, the threads will just catch automatically. Now when you put this in, make sure you orient your positive terminal with your positive lead going to the starter. Pretty straightforward. Get rid of this screw too, and we'll pop these new ones in here. I like to get them started by hand at first, just because you can strip these things out pretty easily. So these screws are just barely too short to actually grab the threads. It did on the positive side, but this one's just not getting it. So I'm going to use a small little piece of wood. It's just a little square piece of wood, and I'm going to put that underneath the nut and lift it a little bit so that the threads can catch. Now you just take the little piece of wood out and get rid of it. Okay, so now that I got these terminals finger tightened down really nicely, I'm going to go ahead and use the screwdriver and tighten them up the rest of the way. Now, I screwed these down pretty tight. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want those little nuts to strip out. So I've tightened it much further than it ever was when I took it apart. So it's definitely better. One problem that I have on this this quad is that there's a rubber strap here, and this is all dry rotted. You can see it just broke the rest of the way. This usually straps down the battery. I don't really see a need for it because when you pop the seat into place, the seat is going to hold down this with pressure, and there's no way it can pop out of this little cubby hole. But it would be nice to replace that eventually and put another strap in so it holds it in nice and tight. Now all I got to do is try to give it a start, see how it works. If everything's fine, I'll put the seat back on, clean everything up, and I'm good to go. Okay, so now we got it all put back together. I got to turn the key on, make sure it's in neutral, have the parking brake applied, and we'll give it a test start, make sure it fires up. I did hear the fuel pump kick on, so I think we're going to be good here. Perfect. Easy peasy. So now I'm just going to put the seat back in place. Click it in. Put it into drive. Let's take it for a little test drive. Now this little tutorial was on pretty much a generic Chinese-made ATV. It's a Honda clone. This is a H-Sun 110cc 4-stroke, just a cheap little quad. But that being said, it's a really great little quad. It works amazing. They use it to move stuff around this farm all the time, and it works really great. This thing does not have a Kickstarter on it, so your only option to start it is with a battery. So having a good battery in there, it's quite necessary. And you're going to have differences between Honda and Yamaha, Kawasaki, all of those different brands. There's going to be different ways of doing this, but pretty much really straightforward. Anybody can do this. Oh, and by the way, I got the battery on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below, but you're going to need to match up the model numbers on the battery that you have and order it yourself. It was super cheap. It was like $21 and some change. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.